All right, what's up, guys? It's Mitch or Deity, and this is going to be the day 10 video. So, two videos today because I am one day behind from a couple days ago. But I'm going to go over a couple things real quick. This is going to be a check in of what your account should look like coming into day 10. If you are a little behind, don't worry about it. It's fine. We're not trying to really rush this. I'm playing this account 4 to 5 hours a day. The biggest thing is I'm really not technically playing it 45 hours a day. I am just leaving it open 4, 5, 6 hours. Some days is longer, other days are shorter. But the biggest thing is I'm farming unrecorded history the entire time I possibly have it open by using an emulator. So like I keep suggesting emulators. There's a link to one down in the description. It supports me, but you can use any emulator you want. If you want to try a different one, that's fine. But I use LD Player. But the biggest thing is the most of the time I am farming this down or off to the side while I'm working on other stuff. So while I'm working on videos, while I'm doing anything else, this is just farming every 30 minutes or so. If I remember, I go back, check it, restart the farm. And that's mostly what I'm doing. I'm not putting 15 hours a day into this account. So don't think I'm playing that much. I'm just trying to be as efficient as possible as I am playing. So a couple things real quick. I will go over characters. I'm going to show some expedition teams. I'm going to show just basic stuff as to where you're going to be looking or what you're going to be looking like. So in terms of my characters, so we have Adventure Raz. I'm going to go ahead and move my face cam up so you can see stats for everything. So we have our Adventure Raz 6-starred. Our skill tree is plus 18. I will show the skill tree real quick. This is all I have done for him. The other things you can do later, but these are the most important ones to do for now. So that is my Adventure Raz. I saved some runes because we are going to need to do some of Hazel's specialty tree change. So keep that in mind. Don't spend all your runes on Raz right away. Just do what I have there. That'll get you by. And then you can finish them later when we have a double rune event. This is Mercedes. A lot of these characters are just going to be put on gear. So the thing is, right now, we are to the point where you're going to be needing to upgrade all of the gear that we just got from all the hunt challenges. That is where unrecorded history comes into play. All of this tier 44 gear you should be feeding into your stuff. So you should be feeding into your boots, your anything you need to upgrade. So first off, I would upgrade your wyvern units though. So speaking of wyvern units, we're going to go to Sigret. This gear set is from Chapter 2. You're going to be beating Chapter 2. You're going to be buying the destruction gear. These are the 4 pieces that I would suggest to buy. And then I have 2 pieces of arena set now to round her off. So one thing is everyone says you need 65 effectiveness on your wyvern units. You do not need that on all of them. You need them on your core debuffers. And as long as your core debuffers are landing their debuffs, your Sigret should be focused primarily on as much damage as she possibly can do. So looking at this, we're going to be leveling this gear over the next 2 days, and we're going to be doing a crafting video tomorrow. So I'm going to teach you everything about crafting, how I craft, how I'd suggest to craft for new players, and all of that. Real quick, I am going to talk about, so I did stumble into the Epic 7 official Discord and saw some people talking about the guides. There were a couple haters. The biggest thing is the players in there they're used to following these guides that were made 2 years ago and or a long time ago, and they are just sticking to them and not making any changes. The biggest complaints they had were me picking Kroza and me not picking Asaria at the beginning. There are reasons why I do that. I have done more accounts than them. I make new accounts all the time. Epic 7 has paid me money to make guides before for them. I know what I'm talking about. Yes, I am not top PvP on my main account anymore because I don't bother playing PvP. Anytime I have in the past couple seasons, when I do play, I reach up to top 500 Emperor and then I stop playing. So I always am up to date on the meta to an extent. At the end of each RTA season, I know around about what's going on. Yes, I am not like the top player, but I can guide you through what to do as a new player. That is where I have been specializing in and for the last 2 years because I just don't put the time into be top PvP, and I couldn't anyway. I'd be top 500 Emperor. There's no way I'd pass that. I have the gear on my main account. I have every character. I would be top 500 if I played RTA consistently. But in the past 4 RTA seasons combined, I have not played a total of 500 games in the last 4 seasons of RTA. So that just right there, I'm going to clear that up. No, I am not the top of the top player for RTA, but I can get you guys to champion easily. Like, it's not hard. This game is pretty simple up until that point. Then from there, it's going to be more of a gear check and character check. But I can get you into starting PvP, and get you along. But the reason we did Crozet instead of Momo, I've talked about multiple times in this guide. Having a tank as your front for Wyvern is much more efficient for playing the game every day. Plus, you can do Momo later. If you need to use Momo for challenges or for lab later, it's fine. You can do her later. But having a tank as your front Wyvern unit at first, while your characters, when you first start farming Wyvern, your debuffing characters won't have the 65 effectiveness. Your move or your one of your characters will probably be lacking, and you're going to get RNG'd no matter what when farming Wyvern, making it to where if you have Momo as your front tank, she's not going to die. She's going to keep healing. Montmorency, the character, she's going to keep healing whenever your backline dies, and your Wyvern runs are going to take forever to finish in comparison to just using a tank and letting your team just die off. Also, second reason we're using Crozet as a front tank is because of expeditions. Having a front tank for Fire Expedition as Crozet is nice. You can use Adventure Raz for it, but Crozet stays alive longer, and it keeps your backline alive for your first expedition teams. There's multiple reasons I'm doing everything I'm doing in this guide. If you go into the official Epic 7 Discord, one thing is people give good advice. Some of them give great advice, but some of them are just hard stuck in. They're like old people that just get stuck in their old ways and do not want to suggest anything else, even though I just showed that I can reach RTA in 30 days. Masters with an 80% win rate, possibly higher win rate. Like it is, I've shown what you can do if you're following my guide. So if you want to take my credibility or take that as credibility to keep following me, go ahead. But I just want to say that I did see that, and I was just looking. I was like, I don't know. I mean, these guys, some of them give some decent advice, but a lot of what they're saying, it doesn't follow what they originally or normally tell people. So they're not happy about it, and they keep trying to bash the guides or whatever. But I showed what's possible with it. If you follow me, you're going to get the same results. If you don't follow me, it's fine. One other thing is not taking Assyria from the second thing, real quick, I'll keep showing characters. But the second thing is not taking Assyria from Selective Summon. So not taking Assyria from Selective Summon, they're like, how's he going to beat Hellraid Queen without Assyria? That's easy. It's not going to be a problem, I promise. So not taking Assyria, I beat Abyss 100 in 17 days on the other account. Did not use Assyria. I used Crozet as my tank for all of Abyss. I never used a Raz. It's going to be even easier on this account because I'm going to be using a Raz for a lot of Abyss. But trust me, I will give you teams to beat everything. They're so hard stuck in the old ways that there is no reason to take those characters when you can take a character that's good in PvP. It's going to be good in Guild Wars. It's going to be good in all content when PvE is a breeze in this game. All PvP in this game is a joke except for the high, or PvE, sorry, is a joke in this game. The only hard PvE is locked behind more of a RNG check than anything. So one thing that they were saying with Assyria, though, is in Labyrinth, you are going to be, once you get to Hellraid, you are going to, Assyria does make it easier. But the thing is, guys, we're not going to get to Hellraid until we complete Malekith's Consciousness, because Malekith's Consciousness gives better rewards than if you're trying to do Hellraid the first time. Like, yes, the pen set is nice, but getting multiple full sets of gear from Malekith's Consciousness is so much worth doing before you go into get one piece of pen set for 2 months of playing, because you're not going to be able to do the epic Hellraid difficulty. So I have a reason for everything I'm doing in this guide. If you see constricting advice, feel free to make your choice of who you want to take advice from. But I will say, if you're going into the official Epic 7 Discord, from what I saw, there are, it was only like maybe 5 or so people. There were a lot of like positive people behind it too. But I saw a couple like very negative people against like the guide series I'm doing. I'm just like, there are points that they were making, that those were the 2 main points. So just, if you are following it and you see something like that, then I'm just going to tell you, if you want to trust me, go ahead. If you don't want to trust me, don't go ahead. Why am I going into Wyvern? Okay, so let's go back to the portion of checking up on the account. So I'm sorry I had to talk about that, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be seeing other people say different things, but I have some credibility. I mean, I've been around Epic 7. I've been an official content creator for them for 4 years. Been a long time. I have some credibility behind what I'm doing. So after Cigarette, that's going to be the gear that we use for Wyvern. Next up, Crozet. This is all you need on Crozet, plus 9 on each piece should be enough to tank it. So I wouldn't worry about upgrading this anymore for now. So if you're seeing that your Crozet is dying, you can put a little bit more into these, but for right now, this should work for your Crozet. You should mainly be focusing on getting your damage up on your damage dealers and upgrading left side gear. So right side gear charms are the hardest thing to get in the game. We're going to be talking about more of that going into tomorrow, getting some more from trading in at the Alchemist Steeple and doing what we can to get more of these. But for right now, just know your right side gear is going to struggle for a bit. That is one reason in the Epic 7 Discord, they're also going to tell you for Wyvern to trade in your boxes. This is something I've seen a lot. Trade in your boxes for an effectiveness ring that is T65 at the beginning of the game. This is terrible advice because, one, you don't have right side charms. Two, you don't need that effectiveness to clear Wyvern at least consistently. Three, wasting those charms into this piece is just terrible for progression. It's just dumb. This piece is going to get foddered later, meaning you lose out on the charms you put on it, whereas you could just farm a little bit less effectiveness and you're going to be fine. Like, yeah, you might fail one or two more runs for now, but then you didn't waste the resources. So that is another piece of advice they give that I think is terrible, and they have like picture guides that they want you to follow. So don't, if you want to do that, go ahead. I'm gonna say you'll be fine if you follow their advice, but it's just annoying that they're crap talking when I don't know. Okay, going on. Let's go ahead into Falconer Clary. I left her on the speed set for now. The speed set's fine. She's going to be able to be usable. Yes, she does need more bulk, though. One thing is Falconer Clary isn't as tanky, but going into her skill tree, you will get more speed and a little bit more stat. I'm not sure what all out of that, but I have not touched it yet. Again, I am waiting for a double rune buff, so I'm not going to be doing much farming for runes until I get a buff for that, because you can use these characters for now without it, and we don't want to waste resources. We'd rather try to get by for now until we can fully capitalize on everything the game gets us, because this is a free-to-play guide. We're not spending any money. Next up, your Spectre Tenebria should be put on some of the best gear you can put her on, because she's going to be a story-clearing unit. Keep her on good gear before you try to put this gear on your Wyvern team. We still want to be pushing story and farming unrecorded history for the next couple days. We will get to farming Wyvern, do not worry. Destina, for right now, we're just going to go ahead and take her gear back off for now. She will be geared up very quickly again, because she's going to be a staple in our Guild War teams, our arena teams, everything for while we're trying to get into all PvP content. So she will be back on stuff. You're going to be super happy you have her. Trust me, over Assyria, you will get more use out of Destina if you're going to be playing PvP at all versus having Assyria that you're going to only use in one piece of PvE. You could use her in more, but you don't need her. Next up, Free Spirit Tieria. She is going to need to be your second best geared character for clearing story. So make sure you put your second best set you can on her. So I actually think we have a ring that we could probably switch off that is fully upgraded. So I'm going to go ahead and put this ring on her instead of the one that's on Mercedes, and put her ring over on Mercedes for now. So this is going to be her for clearing story. Yes, their crit chance isn't perfect. It's not going to be. You're working with beginner gear. Tomorrow, once we do some crafts, we're going to get a bunch of upgrades for everybody, and we're going to be moving gear around again. And we're going to be targeting more or less certain pieces. Not targeting them, but crafting of a certain variety to up our chance of getting pieces that will make all of our characters better. So during our guard, we are going to be sitting at, I'm going to upgrade this a little bit, so we have our 65 effectiveness. He will be a consistent debuffer, as well as Mui. I'm going to try to up his effectiveness a little bit just by upgrading this piece of gear. He'll get some, and I'm going to, I think there's a sword I can put on him. I think I'll trade out Terran Guard's sword and put it on him to try to get his effectiveness as close to 65 as we can. So if it's with the boots, whichever boots that you have, roll the highest effectiveness, put them on your secondary debuffer, which is going to be Mui, because the attack down and bleeds. So that is going to be your Wyvern team. If you're using Furious, it's kind of going to be the same way. If you're using Furious, Alexa, Sigret, Crozet, or whichever for your front tank, you're going to be wanting to build whatever your front tank is, similar to how I have Crozet. Your Sigret's going to be the same, but your Alexa is going to want to be Mui style build, but on speed boots. You need to put either Pegasus boots or the other speed boot on, meaning it's going to kind of mess up one of your other characters for clearing content. So you're going to have your two speed boot options, but we're going to do some crafts tomorrow, so we may be able to replace one of these pieces of boots. So we won't start farming Wyvern again for about 2 more days, but I want to get your Wyvern team back starting to get set up. So that will be Terran Guard. Your Tamarin is just going to be on one of the free sets, so this will work just fine for forever. You can 6-star her. In terms of the characters we have 6-starred, how many 6-stars do we have? We are currently at 8 6-stars, and I have a potion, and I have enough, I think, to 6-star 2 more characters with Spirit Blooms. So technically, we're at 10 6-stars on day 10. So that's a pretty fair number to be pushing. So with this guide, since it's going to be getting you set up with all your PvE teams first before we hit PvP, we are going to be progressing a little bit slower than my account that reached Masters in 30 days. It will be a little bit slower than that, but you will be on pace to you could probably reach Masters within 45 days following this guide video. You may be able to, if you're ahead of me on the guide and kind of know what you're doing after the first 10 days and are pretty confident, then you can just watch the guides to maybe get a couple tips here and there. But otherwise, I didn't build Sermia. I haven't made any of my 5 stars yet. So we are just currently only working on characters that will be used in later content. So we're going to need Adventure as a Mercedes Hazel. We need to finish her specialty change. Lorena, we are working on her specialty change right now. So she will be using some content. Momo, we're probably going to end up using her later, but for right now, I didn't want to push people to build her. So now that is what our count looks like and how our heroes are geared for today. Tomorrow, like I said, the crafting, depending on how your crafts go, everyone's account's going to look different as of tomorrow. So what you can do today, keep farming unrecorded history, farm as far as you can into the story. Use the story clearing team. The story clearing team is going to be this here. I made teams along the side here, but story clearing team is going to be, you can use Araz or Crozet for your front tank. Either one works. You should have Tamarin by this point. You need to get Tamarin within the first 7 days. And then we're going to be using Tieria, and this is why we put our best gear on these characters. And Tieria and Spectre Tenebria, because they are going to be clearing mobs and everything for us. If there are some stages that give us some trouble going through chapter 3, I'm starting chapter 3 today. I'm going to try to clear all of it within like a day or two. And I will be putting any boss fight in tomorrow's video that I have to make any changes on this. So I can get you through chapter 3 within the next couple days. If it takes you longer than that, that's fine. I know everyone can't play as much as everyone else. But once we get past day 10 or whichever these buffs are gone, it does not matter how you progress. Once you get past this portion, you can progress as slow as you want, but it's just, I've been pushing people to play as much as possible during the first 10 days to fully capitalize on these buffs. Next up, our expedition teams. At first, we're only going to be doing level 1 expedition team or expeditions for the next couple days. So our team for our first expedition is going to be Crozet. Again, the reason I had you do Crozet, a secondary reason, is because he's going to be used for fire expeditions. You can also use him for other expeditions. Raz is going to take the place for him for most others, but I did use Crozet for the light expedition, and I used him for the another expedition at some point. So he can work for anything. He's not going to be a PvP character, but having him as your Wyvern front tank gives you the most survivability and most consistent win rate if Wyvern were to attack a backline unit. That is why I am having you start with him, so your Wyvern team is more consistent and you get to play the game. You get more out of playing the game less versus having Momo sitting there healing over and over while your backline is dead because you missed a debuff because you got 15%ed. So your team for this is going to be Crozet, Tamarin. You are going to use Sigret for now until we beat chapter 3. You'll be getting Shu from Selective Summon. So you can trade out Shu for your Sigret here, and then Terranor Guard is going to be your last pick. The reason we are taking Crozet with Terranor, or Crozet instead of Raz for this one elemental advantage, your Crozet's going to stay alive longer. 2, it will keep your back characters alive. Terranor Guard is going to be very squishy. And then when Crozet gives them the defense buff and shield, because Crozet got hit below 50% HP, then your Tamarin's going to get a chance to heal him and you will stay alive. So it will make your expedition teams more consistent by having Crozet as well. So there's the reason we picked Crozet. Our other teams for expedition. So if you're watching this guide later in Fire Expedition, it's not up during that time. Our water team is going to be Falconer Clary, Dustina, Vivian, and Spectre Tenebria. So this will be our expedition team for this. Yes, we do need to level some gear and everything, but we have a start for it at least. So if you have Landy, if you did get Landy from summons, you can switch Landy out for Spectre Tenebria here, but this will be a fine team for clearing water. At first, you will need to manual it the first time when you're beating level 2 and level 3, but this will get you through the beginning of water expeditions and at least allow you to clear level 1s. So as long as you're clearing level 1s and doing your expeditions every month, you're fine. You just keep progressing and eventually you'll be able to beat level 3s easily, and once you do that, that's where progression will start. But I will show my level 3 expedition teams and probably, I'd say, give us another 7 days and I'll have full teams for all. Grass expedition. This is a very easy grass expedition team and it will clear grass level 3. Once you get your Mercedes change and everything else, this will clear up to grass level 3 easily. So this is, if grass is on your expedition, that's fine. Light expedition sucks. I'm just honestly just put your tank and 3 damage dealers, clear level 1s. If you can clear a level 2 and get the point value, start doing those and then request help on them after. But this is going to be level 1s. Super, super easy. I'm going to do one expedition in this video to show you guys how it works. Now for your dark expedition, this is going to be your team for dark expedition. in Dark Expedition, if your characters use a non-attack skill, they get rid of the thing that is on them that hurts them every turn. So having a tank that defense breaks, a buffer, this character Sirmia constantly gets into it. So I did not build Sirmia, but if you have Dark Expedition in your thing, you can use her at level 50 for this and it will be fine. You'll be able to clear level 1s and 2s with this team easily. So let's go ahead and go and do this Fire Expedition just so I can show you all how it works. I think these characters should be geared enough to clear it. I don't remember if they have enough gear on them or not, but let's just go ahead and try it. So going into it, one thing is having Cigarette on the lowest effectiveness possible means that you will not be landing the debuffs. If you land 3 debuffs, the boss will get an extra attack. And the thing is, Cigarette at right now is not going to really help your team whatsoever. That is the problem with her. So we're hoping that Terranor Guard gets a dual attack for this, but you will be switching out Cigarette for Shu as soon as you possibly can. Once you switch out Cigarette for Shu, then you are going to have an easy Fire Expedition level 3. You use this team, but Shu instead. So as you see right here, I think we only need to clear 100,000 points and we're good to go. But right now we're already rocking multiple debuffs. The thing is, Shu does not debuff, so with Terranor Guard, you never have to worry about landing too many debuffs. And it's very nice. So the boss isn't below 75 right now. I guess I'm just going to rip us too. But you see, we are our Cigarette is not critting at all because we have not leveled our gear. But I can just auto from here and just let it go, and it'll be fine. But I will show you what you do with expeditions from this. So yes, all my videos are long, but people like having one. People from Discord were complaining about my videos being long. There was like the 40-minute video for Wyvern. I'm covering a lot in these videos, and I'm trying to show visual guides instead of just telling you do X thing, because then by just saying do X thing, you have to worry, did I do it right? By watching me click it, see I have 3 debuffs, he will counterattack and do decent damage and put a ton of debuffs on everybody. He puts the debuffs back. So I have all the debuffs now that I put on him. But we did reach the point value, so now we can request people to do our expeditions. But see right here, Terranor Guard is almost dead, but Crozet is now saving him to where he is still alive. That will be big for doing expeditions later. That's why Crozet is so good for this. And also, he has multiple uses. Like I said, there's a reason for everything I am doing here. I'm going to end up getting 200k with this garbage team for expeditions, just about. And we didn't do any soul burns. That's funny. But this is level 1. Level 1 is very, very easy. So normally when you use Terranor Guard, you can turn the skills off. You always, for Wyvern, always turn Terranor Guard skills off. I don't know if I've talked about that if you're using them. So 265,000, that is enough. Let's go ahead and yield out. I don't want to waste any more of your time because, like I said, these videos are long, but I'm trying to cover everything I possibly can. So once you score above, I think 100 or 150k on level 1, so you can do open recruitment. And then now anyone in the entire server can search and join your thing and clear it, or clear the rest of it for you. Yes, you can keep it to just your guilds and do private recruitment. If you do that, you get more points for each one you do. Those of you that are in our guilds and the Discord, you can probably get away with putting them as private and you will get 20 extra points for each one. With expeditions, you want to be making sure that you get the max amount of all of this as possible. Yes, there is the option to buy the premium supply pass. The rewards are pretty good for it, but for a new player, I don't think you should really worry about it. It's 6 extra charms. These are really nice to get. These are huge. This would be the whole reason to buy it. So if you are a free-to-play player, though, I wouldn't necessarily push buying this at the very beginning of the game. It's okay, but the thing is, you're not going to use some of these reforged materials right away, so I think it's better to keep your Skystones for progression for now, and then later start buying these once you know you're going to be completing the full thing of this, because today's already the 14th, so it depends on the day that you are starting to get in expeditions whether you should buy it, but the first month I would say skip it. Decide on the next month. It's 1,500 Skystones though, so it is a very steep number, and as a new player you're not getting your full Skystones from arena rewards and whatnot, so it's up to you, but I personally would not buy it for the first little bit as a new player. So that is going to be expeditions, and that is going to be an account overview. Next up, I'm going to show you the most efficient way to get gold. So the best stages you can farm in unrecorded history for Stigma while you have your buffs up is going to be stage 30 and above. Stage 30 is the fastest farming. This is the way to get the most quickly. If you want to farm for an farm this stage to where you can get an epic catalyst drop. Why is there no epic catalyst drops? I thought one of these had an epic catalyst drop, but I do not see it. I'm just gonna say farm stage 30. Stage 30 unrecorded history is fantastic. I think this is the best value. I think there's one that gives you a epic catalyst drop, but 30 and above's the easy, or 30 is the easiest to farm and fastest. 31 and 32 have bosses. I think 33 maybe is the one with the epic cataly drop, but I wouldn't bother farming that as a new player because it'll take you forever. So you get faster progression out of this. That's why I'm ranked 63 already, is because I have been farming unrecorded history in the background as any time that I come over to my computer, because I just restart the emulator run or restart it within the emulator. I don't have it on my phone. If I had it on my, if you're playing Epic 7 only on your phone, yes, you guys are going to be probably playing at a slower rate for sure, because I doubt you guys have your phone open for 6 hours a day playing the game. My voice is starting to go out. I've been talking way too much the last few days. So I've pretty much covered everything I want to talk about. Sorry for the rant on that, but I wanted to be as transparent as possible with players who are following the guide and then they go somewhere else and see information that contradicts what I'm saying in the guide. The thing is, if you're seeing information from other places, it's probably things that they have been telling people to do for a long time. So once you get stigma though, and things have changed a little bit, there are more optimal ways to do things that people just haven't gone and messed with. Most of the people giving advice have not made a new account in probably years. So just keep that in mind. If when they're giving you advice, if they've been playing since day one, but they haven't made a new account and since day one, they're not going to be able to help you as much as someone who just played through a new account and super grinded and tried to be as efficient as possible. So now, if you're running out of gold, you will need to go in, and I'm also going to talk about pets. This is going to be a 40-minute video again. I am sorry, but I'm going to talk about pets. So Sigma's only use is not just getting spirit wells, okay? So the reason I have you upgrade your penguins or your sanctuary to 313, see 313 down there, you don't need the second upgrade. The reason to go to 313 is because you're going to be wanting to go in and craft some penguins sometimes. And by 313, you will have the opportunity to get 3-star penguins. 3-star penguins, there's one already. Every 3-star penguin is going to give you a gold transmit stone, or a silver transmit stone, sorry, and sell for a lot. You need to stock up on silver transmit stones as much as possible because you're going to be trading in for all those resources from gold or silver transmit stones on a weekly basis in the shop. So in the transmit stone shop, you want to buy everything in there except for the penguins with your silver transmit stones. Because the blue box, all of that stuff, especially for new players, getting the ego fragments, the green item, you get some charms within there, you get artifact charms within there. All of it is massive for progression. When you're doing this, you can just click on the thing. You don't have to click down to at the tap to close. You can just click in the same spot on the screen. I'm not going to do this for too long, but I want to show you how much penguins sell for. So we had 117,000 stigma starting this, and I'm going to burn down to 85,000. Or no, let's burn down to 87. So this is 20k stigma burned on penguins. So I'm going to show you how much it sells for. I think I only had a handful of penguins outside of this. So because I just leveled up some characters. So 87,000, we spent about 20k stigma. If we go into our inventory here, this is part of why I also like doing visual guides, because you can see exactly where I'm clicking and follow along because my cursor's on the screen. So you go into here, 15 gold or penguins is going to be 810,000 and 15 silver transmit stones. And then 91 of these, and then 217 of these. You can go ahead and sell all of them. That's almost 4 million gold right there. 4 million gold from 20,000 stigma. I would say at least I would say 20,000 stigma is probably on average 3.5 million gold is a safe number to assume, because I did not have many penguins before I did that. So 3.5 million for 20k stigma. So 100,000 stigma is about 30 million gold. Or no, how much is that? Times 5. Sorry, 3 times 5, 15. Is it 15 million gold? 100,000 stigma is 15 million gold. That sounds like a lot, but hopefully my math's right. But you can do the math yourself, but it's pretty good. You can earn a lot of gold very quickly from doing that. So once you start getting a good stack of 6 stars and extra 6-star materials, as you see, I still have enough to 6-star two extra characters here, and I have 1 potion. I think I get a potion from login tomorrow. So we have 4 6-stars sitting here. And we're in no rush to use them. You do not, when you have the materials for a 6-star, you do not have to 6-star a character right away. It's always nice to sit on it for a little bit and make the best decision you possibly can. Epic 7, again, it's not a race. You're not trying to, once you get a resource, hold on to it so you make sure you spend it properly. Do not always feel in a rush to spend it. So there is that. The last thing I wanted to cover in this video, I'm trying to do it pretty quick, is pets. So like I said, If you are running low on gold, go farm some stigma, sell it for some penguins. Then you're going to go to Pet Shop and you are going to buy these. I actually have extra tickets because I started my account on a Sunday, I think, or Saturday, bought them on Saturday, rebought them on Monday. So I am a little bit ahead on tickets, but I will try to only use a smaller amount of tickets for this. So you can see. So what I'm going to be doing here is I'm releasing anything that is below B for right now, but I think from here, once you get the next stack of 50 tickets, you can be a little bit more picky. But I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this. I wouldn't suggest upgrading this for you guys, but it is pretty pricey. I mean, it's not that pricey, but it's somewhat pricey, but I'm going to spend 200 just for the sake of this guide to make things quicker so I can summon more at one time. So I'm going to do 55 summons at least, maybe 60. Let's do 60 because you should have around that amount by this time when the week resets for you. So let's go ahead and go to adopt and let's do 60 summons total. So no S rank there, no S rank there, no S rank there. So let's go ahead, go back in and we'll release. But today we are going to be trying to set up our hunt pet. Since we're going to be starting farming hunts within a couple days, we want to get a hunt pet set up. And it wouldn't be bad to get a rune pet set up with at least 2 of the runes, even if they're B rank, just having a starting pet. Because the thing is, you can use these pets later to upgrade your other pets. So even though these pets aren't perfect, they will still give you value down the road. So I think I did 30 summons. There's an S rank, finally. And it is we got 2 S rank. There we go, right for the guide. This is one of the best 3 you can get. So and there's a greater rune. That's fine because the last ones are epic runes, right? So this is the 2 that we wanted right here, the 2S rank. That's super lucky. So you're gonna want this is going to be the most important. This one, the common rune one, you don't want, but for runes, you're gonna want this. And I think the biggest one is called epic runes, right? So you want the greater runes and the epic rune pet. Second, you are going to, for your hunt pet, you're gonna want drops additional equipment. You're gonna want the charm drop one, and then lastly, you're gonna want the chance to get extra crafting materials. I think it's a chance to drop 50% extra crafting materials is the last one. So those are the 3 that you're going to want. Any combination of those 3 is fine. There's a 4th one that gives you a chance to receive double reforged materials. That one is okay, but you don't really need it as you get to the end of the game. You're just going to end up with more reforged materials than you have gear to reforge if you are using that for the entire time you're farming. So I think it is better to try to focus the 3 I said before, but that is going to be kind of up to you too. Other people will tell you different things. I'm just going to do 5 more summons for the sake of the guide. We won't be too worried about our lobby pet for right now. I will talk about lobby pets at another time, most likely, because we want to mainly focus on our pets that are going to be getting us extra stuff from our farming versus the lobby pets can be pretty helpful. One of the lobby pet that we currently have is giving us enhanced great success chance. This one is good. The good success chance is good. This equipment enhancement cost is pretty good. This is pretty good for selling equipment, but it's not that great for newer players because we're going to be extracting all of our gear versus selling it. And then this is the good success one. That's pretty good. And then this one is the double crafting materials. This is one that we really like. We're going to go ahead and lock it. This is the common rune one. I'm not too thrilled for it, but we'll just go ahead and lock it. The greater rune one, we have an S rank of that. This extra charm one is what we want. So this is the pet that we are going to end up making, is the chance to drop a charm and the chance to drop extra equipment. So if you have the other option that I talked about earlier, the chance to receive double crafting materials, that one works good as well. So there are your pets that you're going to be trying to get. I'm trying to go through here to see if there's any other ones that. This is the additional reforged materials. If you get an S rank of this, you can use it for now. So there are 4 hunt skill ones that are all pretty good, but the additional equipment is super nice. So this is the one we definitely want to level up. Go ahead and put our resource into him, and then we're going to synthesize him. We're going to go ahead and just take one of the lowest rarity ones for now. We're going to hit max here, select skills and inherit, we want that. And then now we have a 2-star pet. Now you need to go and do this with your other pet of the hunt material or the hunt option that you want. So ours was an A rank and it was one to receive double crafting mats. So let's go ahead and level him up. and then we synthesize him, select his appearance, select the other one, just go down to one of your B ranks, and then we're going to select skills. We do that one, max this, and then synthesize. Now we need to go back to our S rank pet. Once we go back to our S rank pet, we want to level him up, auto select, max it, and we synthesize him right away, throw the other one in, select which one you want the appearance for. Now we want equipment, and then we want this, and we're going to max this for the max chance. We're going to synthesize it. Now we have a solid hunt pet. We can do 15 runs at a time. So there we go. Our hunt pet is now done. If you want to, from this time, you can go ahead and you have 26 left. You can start working on another pet. If you have a bunch of tickets left over, then I showed you some of the things that are good to have. This enhanced equipment EXP is really good. This is probably the best one you can get. I would say as a new player, you want this one. So I'm going to go ahead and level him up actually before I do anything with the rune pets. The rune pets I'm not too worried about. As I said, I'm going to be waiting until later for that. So we need to level this one up, or put this one at rank 2. So we need to synthesize it. We can go ahead and put it with a B rank, select appearance, pick this, it'll let me, and we need to max this. And then we need to do that with our other pet that gives this is trying to just give me a pet that works automatically. But this one, we are going to do the same. And I don't think we have enough to fully finish it though, is the problem. So now we select skills inherit. The +9 hero level EXP is not bad either, but for the sake of the guide, I'm going to keep going with what I have originally said. So we go ahead and synthesize this. Everything was right? I believe everything's right. We want the 3% grade enhance. That's fine. And then we can go ahead and do it. Okay, and then now, do we have enough to make it a 3-star pet is the question. No, we do not. So in order to level it up, we are going to use everything we had left. So I would have to level up some more, but then we can make a 3-star lobby pet that's going to have an equipment enhance. And then it would also end up having the ability to give us the great success chance and the cheaper equipment. But you want S rank of everything, but for right now, these pets will be able to be fed into the other pets once you get S rank. So you are not wasting any resources by utilizing an A rank pets, or sometimes some of them are B rank. So this is B rank right here for a chance for double AP. That's all I got for pets though. That is all I have for this guide. This is just I don't know if this part of the guide series. It's not technically a guide at this point. It's a guide series. Each part is a completely different thing. Covers like 20 things per video. But the next thing you should be working on, the reason I told you to get your story clearing team as far as you can, I want you all to make sure you're fully finished with keep doing your urgent missions every time you pop up. That's part of why I have so much gold, is because I've been getting a lot of bounty missions from urgent missions. Those are $250,000 a piece. Every single one you get. Do I have one here? I do. This is $250,000 gold right here just from spending 8 stamina. Super good value. Every time you see these urgent missions, do them no matter what they are. So make sure you full clear this. You don't have to buy the attack set, but clear everything you can within this and spend your AP. So do the challenges, fully clear all of that. I still have 11,000 Skystones, and there's probably still 1,500 Skystones sitting in here. So, and I have not spent on any extra banners yet though. So once you do that, then start clearing chapter 3 as far as you can. You'll start getting stuck on some bosses, but then once you clear all that, you don't have to clear all of it, but clear a bunch of it. Start getting through chapter 3. And then tomorrow we will continue Adventurer's Path. By the time we do our crafting session in tomorrow's video, it's going to be a very, very detailed, in-depth, lot of information video. You are going to be able to claim all these rewards here. It's going to give you a bunch of extra stuff to do. So we'll be going through a lot of that once we do the crafting video. But before tomorrow, the biggest thing to make sure you are done with, before you get to the crafting portion of the guide, is make sure the Molagora challenge is complete up to Molagora challenge hard. Make sure you completed the part that is going to be giving you the boxes that give you 700 materials a piece. You have to complete 50 hunts to claim all of them. So make sure you're getting to that. Now we just got 500 more of those, so we're going to be able to buy the counter set for shoes soon. But our goal is to get chapter 3 done within the next 2 days, and then we're going to be able to upgrade all of our teams with the gear we craft tomorrow and the stuff we get from completing chapter 3. So our account in the next 5 days is going to take another big jump, which is cool. So if you guys are struggling, if you guys have any questions on anything, let me know down below. Some things, if you want to suggest something that would be good for new players, I can take all this information and send it directly to the Smilegate community manager. and I know he will read it and be able to send it to the teams to look into if there's any way they can implement any of it. One idea that people had was, instead of buying this early gear from Arena, it should be Arena rewards that you get. So like this first set that's terrible, they should just give that to you when you reach bronze 4, bronze 3, bronze 2, bronze 1. You get one of these pieces of equipment for each one. The attack set, once you reach silver 5, you should get this attack set for free. Once you reach gold, you should get this set for free. Once you reach each one, as they get older and older, they should start giving some of them, or give some kind of reward out of this. Take this out of the shop and start giving that for free to players. Next up, the second thing that I know people are wanting is, we need more right side charms for new players so we can upgrade our characters, because all of our characters as a new player are going to be sitting on plus 12 pieces, plus 9 pieces. It's a super struggle. So some way that they can incorporate giving us more right side charms for early game players. That, if you have any other suggestions, comment them down below. I'm going to start making a list so that once I'm done with this guide series, I can send them a big detailed thing about what all I think should be changed for new game players, what the consensus is, because they listen to us. They take any advice we give them very seriously, and a lot of the changes that have happened in Epic 7 have come from us content creators and you guys in the community speaking out. They listen to their player base. So sometimes it takes some of us to shove it in their face from you guys saying it, but it does work. Cars 6 has been a godsend in getting players' opinions and making sure Smilegate hears them. So let us know. Try to be constructive. Don't be super negative, because no one wants to sit there and read a huge negative paragraph about how you hate everything in your life and the Epic 7's making it worse. We don't want to go through that. Try to be constructive and have a positive mindset if you're going to be giving advice, because if you're starting and just shit talking the game, I'm just going to probably ignore what you say. So that's all I got for this video. Sorry it was so long, covered a lot of stuff. Hopefully you guys are to this point or getting close. If you're not, no pressure, play at your own pace, but just follow the guide series. Trust me, you will be in a good spot after a month of playing. But hope you guys enjoyed the video or got something out of it, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.